This is Coach Gaz with a juggernaut thought. My juggernaut thought is coming from behind. So, what we're actually talking about is you have a project or you have a responsibility or a task that you have to do, and you end up being behind with that task, and the more behind you get, the more it builds, the more it mounts, and then it becomes such a huge task that it's easy for you to procrastinate. It's easy for you to put off. As an example, at the moment, this is the first Juggernaut Thoughts I've recorded in almost 2 weeks. It was something that initially I didn't put off lightly. The last 2 weeks of the month of December, before we shut up shop for the year, were very hectic. We had a lot of social engagements, had a lot of responsibilities to the JPT community, had a lot of sessions I was fitting in. I was pulling 15, 16-hour days, and none of that kind of contributes to a clear frame of mind. I'm able to get my job done, my day-to-day job done, my face-to-face sessions done, and do them well, but didn't really leave a lot of extra energy for a lot of other things like these Juggernaut Thoughts. It's not that they're not important, it's just that other things had to take priority. I committed that before the end of the year, before the Christmas break was over, I would get caught up and get to 100, and this is Juggernaut Thought number 98. And I wanted to make sure that I hit that 100, not just because I was behind, but because I felt that 100 was a significant marker for me, a significant waypoint in order to get forward. So, I feel that there's two ways you can build momentum again if you do get caught behind, and you do have a number of tasks to tick off. And one can be either to look at the objects or the tasks you can do to get some easy wins. There's nothing wrong with aiming for the lowest hanging fruit in order to start building some momentum again. And the other way you can do it is to do tasks that you have been putting off, and that term is sometimes called eating the frog. If you eat the frog early on, then every other task behind that or past that will seem easier because you've already done the difficult one, you've already done the grossest one, which is eat the frog. The Juggernaut Thoughts, they kind of fall somewhere in the middle for me, and so there is definitely a sense of achievement that happens when I record these, but they're not always the easiest thing for me to record because they are my thoughts. They're raw, they're unedited, and they need some clarity and some scope behind them, or some plan behind them, in order for me to not just get on these videos and ramble incoherently 95% of the time. So look, these are my thoughts. This is number 98, and basically I want you to think about or revisit, if anything that you've been wanting to do and you've been putting off because it is difficult or because you've lost momentum. How can you start to rebuild that momentum again? We're coming into the new year. Your mind inevitably draws to New Year's resolutions, but how can you start to build that momentum again? Going for the easiest win, or going for something that is a bit more difficult, a bit more challenging, but has significance to it? It's Coach Gaz with the Juggernaut Thought. I'll see you for number 99.